Hey everybody, this is So Many Sequels. I'm Josh.
I'm Andrew.
I am Garrett.
And I'm David Claus.
We got a we got a fun one for you today. We are not going to talk about a single movie. We're not going to talk about a series of movies. No, today we're going to talk about an entire genre of movies by figuring out together what are the rules of Christmas movies. What makes a movie a Christmas movie? There's a lot of debate over certain films. Elf is obviously a Christmas movie. But then there's, your diehards. A lot of people fight about that, and I'm sure we will too, in the most stereotypical ways possible.
Yes,
but we will.
Course.
So we thought, you know what? Why don't we figure out what do we need to see in a movie in order for it to be a Christmas movie? So we all came up with a set of rules. We're going to share them and debate them and hopefully come up with maybe a master set of rules.
A conclusive ending.
Yes.
Period. Stamp.
At least
it's going to be the official thing that everybody uses from here on out.
At least as far as this podcast is concerned, we will come up with a definitive list, a definitive idea.
So there's a couple ways I thought we could do this. I imagine that we probably all share some of the same rules. So we can either go around and each say one rule, and then everyone can say if that's on their list as well, and we can debate that rule and go around until we're out of rules. Or each person can individually go through all their rules, and we can debate and talk about this set. What is everyone feeling?
I'm fine with maybe going around the table a little bit.
I would agree.
It might get difficult. I don't think I structured mine quite the same way, but I think we'll be all right.
Mm-hmm,
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Then who would like to start by listing their first rule? And if it matters, explain how you think of it. Because, for example, my rules are less rules and more like criteria, where the more of them you hit, the more likely you are to be a Christmas movie. You can hit one, that doesn't make you a Christmas movie.
Right.
You can hit two, it doesn't make you one. But the more you hit, the more you're probably leaning toward it. So that's how mine work.
Let me explain how mine work, and then we can get in. We all explain how ours work a little bit, because I think mine works similarly. I have a category known as 100% Christmas movie. If you meet any one of these criteria, you are automatically a Christmas movie conditionally. That makes no sense. But it's like these are automatically you start off Christmas movie. Then I have some borderlines. These are like, hey, these might be Christmas movies. All right, but they might not. And then I have disqualifiers. You can meet every bit of criteria on the 100% Christmas movie, but if you have even one disqualifier, you're out. So
okay,
there's a lot that could be, but 3 simple things will knock you out.
Mama said knock you out.
So
4 simple things will knock you out of the Christmas movie category.
How many rules does everyone have? No one went crazy, right?
I don't have any like a list of real rules.
Oh, okay.
Mine are kind of like it's like a combination in between the two of yours that you mentioned. I have like a big or like 2 things that are like big, broad, and if you hit that, then yes, you're a Christmas movie. And then there's, I think, a total of 6 things that I have, 7, but they're short. And they just kind of help funnel down as, okay, if you don't meet these 2 big, broad criteria, let's funnel it down and see if you meet this criteria. So it gets more specific as you go.
Interesting.
Andrew, do you have any any thing you want to lay down about your list here?
I just have 4 basic rules of what it really means, and it's either one or all of those that kind of fit into the Christmas category.
Okay.
All right.
And I've got examples.
So my rules also get a little bit into the subgenres within Christmas movies as well. So mine might be a little bit more complex than Andrew's.
The only thing I'm gonna start off is this. Christmas movies, the Christmas genre, doesn't exist.
Whoa, hard.
Philosophical.
That's a no nuance November take if I've heard one. Let's go with that. So there is no such thing as a Christmas movie.
Well, like when it comes to,
it's like Joe Biden, it doesn't actually exist.
When it comes to Christmas films, like unless the movie is plotted really around Christmas, it's technically not a Christmas movie because Christmas is a subgenre
of holiday.
Okay.
films.
Oh, hang on, my dog's making noise over there.
It's also more about. I mean, we can get into this. We're going to get into this later about setting, but that's what I have to say about Christmas movies. As much as I love Christmas movies, that's kind of it's a truth about it. Like Christmas movies, unless again it's specifically about Christmas, don't exist.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
I think I see what you're saying now.
I understand what you're trying to say, but you're drawing a hard line there.
Mm-hmm.
You're drawing a very hard line there. If it's not specifically about Christmas. Now, Andrew, you need to justify what is the specifics of Christmas.
So, like, we all know the specific of Christmas when it comes to, like, the holiday spirit. Or if something is centered around Christmas, like somebody trying to, like, I'll Be Home for Christmas. Or Last Christmas. There are movies that that have Christmas in the title. Fine, cool. Well, like Christmas with the Cranks. If it's centered around the day itself, the Christmas day itself, that's what I think can qualify for a Christmas film.
Okay. Qualify, you say though.
Yeah.
So it could be knocked out by other category, other elements. See, that's what I'm talking about. So. Like Andrew, I also have that there are things that can be a Christmas movie, but there are things that can immediately disqualify it.
Yep.
I actually, mentioning Christmas with the Cranks, that falls into a subcategory that I also have. Josh, let's move on to you. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm really trying to figure out how to do this because we didn't I don't know how we can best do this when we don't all have the same system.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even that. Like you and David don't really have rules so much as you have categories. Am I understanding correct?
I have criteria.
And I don't know how to go one by one through that, but we can try.
Andrew, just go through it. Why don't we just have Andrew go through his whole thing?
That's true. His are only 4.
And then we'll get into each of ours.
Okay. And
then we'll debate.
All right. So the setting of the film for more than a lot of time during its runtime can technically count for the Christmas film subgenre. Now, one movie I will have to say really doesn't center around Christmas is It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life is my personal favorite movie of all time. And I love It's a Wonderful Life so much.
Mm. It takes place at Christmas, but it could take place at Thanksgiving, and it wouldn't really make that big of a difference.
But it's like 1/4 of the movie only takes place at Christmas, and it's centered around George Bailey trying to find the meaning of his life. It happens to be on Christmas. It's on Christmas Eve.
Right.
But isn't that the Christmas Carol? I mean, that is still lumped. It is just a version of the Christmas Carol, which is definitely a Christmas thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's very different than a Christmas
interpretation
Carol,
of that same.
But the thing is,
like a Christmas Carol takes place on Christmas. It's the same premise.
Yeah, and Christmas Carol, the Christmas Carol is more about sentimentality, and the thing is about sentiment is that it actually leads into my next rule. Perfect. Like the sentiment of the season is prevalent throughout the movie. All right, so gathering around the Christmas season. Mm-hmm. All right. And there are numerous movies about this.
Mm-hmm.
You just mentioned A Christmas Carol, Christmas Vacation, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'll Be Home for Christmas. I've said that several times.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably argue even Love Actually, because Love Actually is trying to get together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a peaceful time, okay?
Right.
It's a peaceful time. We all want to celebrate the holidays. That technically
is it about those holidays or is it about getting together?
It's about getting together mainly because Christmas that's really what it's about. I mean, it's about getting together. it's
That's
about
not what
like,
Lina says.
but like, I will also lead to this. I will also lead to this to my third rule. Christmas in a Christmas film, I've already said this. It doesn't necessarily have to be about Christmas. Okay.
You just said it has to. The sentiment has to be mostly about Christmas.
Yeah, the sentiment, but
then you say it doesn't have to be about Christmas.
right, but like,
your
so
rules
the-
are contradictory, Andrew.
Okay, so I'm going to scratch that third rule.
Well,
I'm gonna
okay.
scratch the third rule.
You probably should, because your
Yeah.
second rule was the sentiment of Christmas needs to be a prevailing factor, and then you said,
Right.
but it doesn't have to be
Are
about
you
Christmas.
trying? So let me just help. Let me help you out here, Andrew.
And
I think what you're trying to convey to you is that there is a difference between like a Christmas specific movie and a holiday season timed movie.
Right.
Correct? And so for
Yeah,
you,
okay.
you're saying that like in order to be a Christmas movie, it has to be about the day or the sentiment of Christmas.
Mhm.
And those are those specific movies about Christmas. And then the third rule is you trying to say it can be a holiday movie if it has like the seasonal aspects, but isn't necessarily about the day itself.
Right.
See, that falls
Yeah.
into my borderlines.
Yeah.
What was your fourth rule, Andrew? Was that the one where there is no such thing as a Christmas movie?
No. Release date doesn't matter.
Okay.
And my shiny example of this, I mean, there's two movies. The first obviously is Die Hard because it was released in July, and the other movie that is a renowned Christmas classic is Miracle on 34th Street. That was released in the summer of 1943.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump in. Was that your last rule, Andrew?
That is my last
Okay,
rule.
because that is an interesting take because I cast a completely different net than Andrew. I
Here we go.
gave
Now we're getting into
a
it.
wide net of which a movie could be a Christmas movie. I said all you got to do is meet this big giant criteria, and then I'm gonna reel you in a little bit. So for me, I'll go on release date. It will play a factor, but only when there's a movie that's like questionable. So for me, it's like the first thing I have is a Christmas movie is not afraid to hit you over the head with the fact that it's a Christmas movie. Anywhere and everywhere you look, you can definitely tell it's Christmas or the holiday season
Yes.
in itself.
Mhm.
It's
Okay.
without question noticeable that it is.
Large part of the setting
Yes.
and the look of the movie
Yes.
contingent around with what we traditionally assign to the Christmas holiday.
Yes.
Or-
Exactly. So that's the big one, right?
Okay.
The second one,
A lot of movies fit that.
a lot of movies do fit that.
Mhm.
And then I try to get more specific.
Mhm.
Uh,
So that's your
Just-
broadest. That's your
that's the
broadest
broadest.
branch. Okay.
mhm.
Okay. Interesting.
And then I say, is Christmas important part of the story, or is it in the background?
Mhm.
That is also, I feel like, important.
Now, can
There's
something
a
have
sub-rule.
that and not have the Christmas part?
Yeah,
Okay, that's good. Okay, so there is a level there.
right. The third thing is does the movie's central figure have some kind of positive personal emotional gratification or something that they learned by the end of the movie? Every person normally goes through some kind of like change or learning
Yeah.
experience, whether it's about
Change of
their self,
heart or
how they treat other people, those types of things. That is where I think that you can get
Now,
super specific with it. Yeah.
now, Garrett, let me question you real quick before
Go
you
for
move
it.
on, because I think actually this might be the best way is that we just all present our rules first, and then we just question each other.
Sure,
We force each other to defend these. So if you
Yeah.
guys have questions for Garrett, let riddle them off.
I'm ready.
Can does the movie, in order to maintain Christmas movie status, need to meet your third thing there, that somebody has a change of heart, but those first two criteria have to be met, obviously.
First two
to
criteria
have
are the easiest to meet. So for
Has
me,
to
it's
have a very
like different levels of what is a Christmas movie. Like
has
you
to have
can
a
have
Christmas
a
theme setting, The Christmas story needs to, or the holiday needs to play an important part in the story, and there has to be a change.
Yeah.
So if the
not
holiday
necessarily
plays an
there
important
has
part,
to
but
be a
there's no change, does it advance?
It does. So like look at Jingle All the Way. That's a pretty surface level basis for a holiday movie. But if you think about it, by the end of this movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger has learned that he needs to spend more time with his family and pay attention to that because he's losing it. So for me, that meets that third rule where the central figure, as silly as that movie is, meets that criteria and it advances to the next.
Now, if at the end of the movie he went back to his life as normal,
then I think
would it not be a Christmas movie?
Then I think it would. I think no, it'd still be a Christmas movie.
Interesting.
It would just not advance any further. It would be like this accepted like base level of a Christmas movie.
It'd be a bad Christmas movie is what you're saying.
It'd be just like it wouldn't have.
I mean,
I think it depends on I think it's how definitive is a Christmas movie. I think I'm just narrowing it into like
that's what we're trying to decide.
Yeah, exactly. And so for me, it's like, yes, this is a Christmas movie. It's easy, it's fun, it's whatever. But the more specific you get with these rules, the more an actual Christmas movie, for me anyway, it is.
Okay.
So I think that if it hits that, then it continues that funnel of, yes, this is what I feel like a real, like, full 100% Christmas movie is.
Any other questions so far?
No. I'm still wrapping my head around it a little bit.
Hold on. So it'll get...
I'm thinking of Garrett's like a funnel.
Well, it's like
it's a funnel.
What's throwing me is I feel like having the broad base just like creates a whole lot of Christmas movies.
Yeah. And
I think for me, it's
you're saying the more
I'm allowing something to try to grab the spirit of Christmas, and it'll all make sense whenever I get to my final rule.
Okay, because
I think the thing is,
just get with me because I'm going to cast this broad net. I'm going to funnel it in, and it's going to be casting.
Well, we need an example. What we need from you, Garrett, and this might take time, but we need an example for a movie that hits each of these pillars but doesn't advance. Like we need one example of like a movie that has all the trappings of Christmas but doesn't move down to the next level of, has the sentimentality of Christmas or has that as a main story point, or that has all that stuff but doesn't have the characters having a positive change in their life because of it. That's going to be a hard one to find though. So maybe there's no example there.
So I'll go through the rest of these and see if I can find some like more specific examples.
Yeah, we can do that while we're grilling Josh.
Yeah. So those are the three that I think are there. Now, these are not necessarily, the next few are not necessarily needed. I think that these are to help answer. I think mine is more structured of, is this a Christmas movie?
Okay.
So for like basically building towards an argument for like Die Hard. That's
okay.
Essentially
You're
what
building an argument for Die Hard. Okay.
I just feel like the problem is Die Hard became a Christmas movie in your first step.
Well, that's and again, issue. Just let me get through them, and then you'll see.
That's what I
get. Let me get through them, and then you'll see. It'll make sense, I promise. I think that when a movie released plays a bit of a part in if you're trying to argue whether the intent was to be a Christmas movie, which is where I think Die Hard comes into play, because its intent was not to be a Christmas movie. It was an action movie set at Christmas. So that I think is where the branch is like, is this a Christmas movie, or is it just kind of like hitting some of these things, but not necessarily the spirit of a Christmas movie?
Okay. So
Rule 5, Christmas is in the title. If Christmas is in the title,
that's an automatic.
Probably a good example of that would be a Christmas movie. Not necessarily the case, but it does enhance it if there is a question about it.
Okay.
Tim Allen, obviously. Again, not a requirement, but it helps the argument if you're trying to determine if this movie is a Christmas movie.
I know Jungle to Jungle. You might think, hey, Tim Allen's in this. It's already on Christmas movie status.
Right.
Let's drill down more.
Yeah. But the real answer to this is that if a movie gives you those Christmassy feelings and it has some of those Christmassy things that we talked about in the first one, and you enjoy doing it with your family and it makes you feel the spirit of Christmas, it's a Christmas movie.
Well, there's a lot of subjectiveness to that now.
Exactly. I know. Tricky rule.
I know.
I got to say, Garrett's rules, somehow flimsier than Andrew's in places.
Listen, the
Andrews
seventh one is just to make
Andrews
everybody
weren't
happy.
really
Everybody
airtight.
gets a trophy with that one. Everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your final rule really opens up the door to everything. I mean, Andrew's rules weren't really very tight when he said it has to have Christmas as a prevailing story element, and then he said it doesn't have to be about Christmas. Like, I thought that might have been the strangest contradiction we.
Well, the whole point is that it's all subjective anyway, because we're going to get into our diehard. We're going to get into our diehard argument at some point in time, and that's where these rules are going to come into effect for me. But it really is all just personal opinion. And that's why these rules are subjective.
But Garrett, the reason we're here is to come up with a definitive list. You said it at the beginning of the show yourself.
Exactly. And
there's no subjectivity here. We are searching.
A definitive list, and you'll just have to see.
This is the search for objectivity. Is what we are on what we're working on right now. Okay. So I don't want to hear any of this. If it makes you feel like Christmas, then it's a Christmas movie. That's a lot of
love of everybody
is what that is.
To the merry.
Josh, I want to hear your stuff.
Okay, so mine are in no particular order, although the first half are a little more concrete and the second half are a little more like fun bonus points you would get.
Okay.
So the first one to knock out, obviously, is the movie should be set during or in the run-up to Christmas.
Absolutely.
And an example of that right off the bat would be Home Alone, which is in the run-up to Christmas. Only the last few minutes are actual Christmas, but that's okay. Number 2, love should be a center point of the story, whether that be romantic, family, community, a love of self, or a love of the holidays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
3, Christmas magic can come into play, whether that is a miracle, a strange coincidence, or literal magic, like Santa magic. 4, the holiday should function as part of the story in some way.
That eliminates a lot.
It does eliminate a lot, although mine don't really eliminate each other. Mine are just the more you have, the better.
Okay.
If you walked into my list and you only came out with 1, you're probably not a Christmas movie. If you have 2 to 3, that might be enough. 5.
I mean, that's an interesting question right there. Is like what. That's what we're trying to find. Is like, what do you have to have in Josh's criteria to really qualify? Because if 3, how many do you have?
10.
So if you have 5 of 10, is that really a Christmas movie? We'll see.
Yes.
Sorry, continue.
It would be. It needs to have a happy ending.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
6. The movie takes place in a big city.
Really?
And bonus points is if it transitions into a small town.
Okay. But it can take place in a small town.
It could take place in a small town. Again, my rules are not definitive. So many Christmas movies are set in big cities. Well, no. Again, no. There are no disqualifiers in my list.
Well, but you just said if it takes place in a small town or in a big city, the moon would not be a big city. If there was an astronaut celebrating Christmas on the moon.
No, but if it was set during Christmas, it was about love and it had Christmas magic, then it would be.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
These build your case. They do not take from it.
Okay, all right. Well, I'd be surprised.
The presence of Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Someone running through an airport.
Yeah.
A cranky rich man gives somebody money to fulfill a dream.
Okay, yeah.
And 10, a parent or spouse works too much and ruins the holiday season for a loved one.
Yeah. Okay, I see. I understand your list better now.
Okay.
Your list does not have, like if it doesn't. Okay, I understand your list now.
Yeah, none of them take away from each other.
BuzzFeed style list, really.
You check. The more you check, the better you are.
So far, I agree a lot with Josh's, but I disagree in the sense that there can be disqualifiers. I have come across.
I'm intrigued by your disqualifiers because I would be hard pressed to agree that anything could disqualify if it hits this many.
Very hard rules is what I'm dealing with over here. Stickler David Claus, all right? That's what I am over here, all right? Take no prisoners, not anything in this cup, okay? That's the kind of person you're dealing with. There are rules I won't be trifled with, all right? Here's my criteria. You are 100% a Christmas movie if you have most of these things. If Santa is a main character, or a central character. All right. If the movie is about Santa Claus's origins or the legacy of Christmas or any of that stuff, we're talking the Santa Claus. We're talking Noel. We're talking Fred Claus, maybe. All right. Santa as a hero, aka the Christmas Chronicles, any of those old movies where Santa was like, you know, the main dude. Santa Claus or Christmas is the primary focus of the story. So this would include movies like The Grinch, any of the versions of The Grinch, really. This might include movies like we talked, like you guys already mentioned, Home Alone, those type things. Although Home Alone, it's not really about Christmas. What are my other things? The spirit of Christmas. Andrew mentioned this. So this is things like giving, generosity, altruism, what have you. And so that would include a lot of, every version of Christmas Carol, the Charlie Brown Christmas, a traditional Christmas specials of any kind. The challenge or the affirmation of belief. This is a big one for me. You got Miracle on 34th Street, Polar Express would both be movies that fit into that category.
Okay.
If the idea of saving Christmas comes up, or if it's, about the nativity. Okay. So those are your pretty much Christmas movies if you have those things going on for you. Some borderlines. This is what Garrett and Andrew and Josh are all talking about in terms of like, it can be set at Christmas, but not necessarily directly about Christmas. We're talking about falling in love at Christmas, romance at Christmas time. Is like Your Last Christmas, The Holiday, Holidate, Preacher's Wife, these type of movies. Four Christmases. This would be like The Importance of Family at Christmas. So like something like that. Coming of Age or Adventure at Christmas time. So things like Coming of Age would be like A Christmas Story, not one of my more favorite Christmas movies. Christmas time adventures like Home Alone, I'll Be Home for Christmas, Jack Frost, Nightmare Before Christmas. These things aren't really inherently about Christmas, but they're kind of adventurous and they're at that time period. And then you have a category I'm going to call anti-Christmas movies. So this would be like Jingle All the Way, National Lampoon's Vacation, or Christmas Vacation, Christmas with the Cranks. These are movies that they are about Christmas, but they're really kind of like attacking the consumerism and commercialism of Christmas in a way. And then you can even maybe include Charlie Brown's Christmas in that. I think, Garrett, you talked about some things that like kind of go into it. So I have like Christmas, a lot of heavy use of Christmas songs, Christmas release date, Christmas setting. That might help. Here are my disqualifiers. This is where we get hot. If a person or an animal is murdered or killed in self-defense, it is no longer a Christmas movie. If someone is murdered or killed, nah, you ain't Christmas. Sorry. So Die Hard,
okay.
Done.
Okay.
Horror movies, you done. Gremlins, you done. Lethal Weapon, you out of here. Okay. Ho ho, go home. All right.
Okay.
If the other genre, if the movie has another genre mix and it overpowers the Christmas, not a Christmas movie. So this is all horror Christmas movies. Batman Returns, Iron Man 3, Jurassic World, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. You're not Christmas movies. Okay. You are not about your other genre overpowers. I even throw Love Actually in there. Rise of the Guardians, that has Santa Claus in it. He's a main character in it. It's not about Christmas. It's about being superheroes. Rocky IV, that's a boxing movie. That's not a Christmas movie. I don't care if you're set at Christmas. My other ones that knock it out, nudity. All right. If nothing wrong with the human form, but it has no place in a movie about Santa Claus. Okay. If your movie's about Santa Claus, but you got some guy going full ho ho ho, then no, you're done. And then finally, if Hulk Hogan is in the movie, it's not a Christmas movie. I'm sorry. If Hulk Hogan shows up, you are a Hulk Hogan movie. You are no longer about Christmas.
What about Paul White?
Who?
Paul
Oh, the
White.
Big Show. No, Big Show, he counts. He's fine. Paul White, he's good. No one would say, hey, did you see that Big Show movie? If Hulk Hogan's in the movie, it's a Hulkster movie.
Sure.
So there you go.
Okay, so
I
here's
have
the deal.
eliminated many with that.
I'm gonna jump on David's because I think that my filter will piggyback well off of his. So like you take some of those controversial movies, are they a Christmas movie or are they movies set at Christmas that have Christmas undertones that are just kind of accepted? And I think that's where my filtering system helps out. So we'll go to the Die Hard thing, because if you take Die Hard, right,
Yeah.
Christmas movie, or is it a action movie set at Christmas?
Does someone get killed in
Well,
it?
David doesn't care. It's out.
It's
Well, for me-
Period. There's
So
no
for
debate
me-
for
Someone get
David.
killed in it. Is anybody murdered?
Here's the first criteria for Die Hard. Is it apparent at any point in time and every second possible that it is Christmas time?
I don't know.
Can you jump into Die Hard for 20 minutes, and in that 20 minutes, can you be 100% positive that it is set at Christmas time and that Christmas is apparent?
I don't know if it matters.
yes.
Can you?
No.
Because I
Yeah.
did that for
Because some guy
for
gets
Die Hard.
some guy gets the phrase, "I have a machine gun now," written in blood on his chest.
No. I mean, well, yeah, but like the thing is that
You don't
like
tell me no, like that doesn't happen in the movie.
no, in the beginning of Die Hard, what are they doing at the? What are they doing at?
I don't know. Let's
Flying
say
a
that I
plane.
jumped in at the
It's a plane
57
movie.
hour or 57 minute mark of this movie. Can I tell that it is a Christmas movie based
No.
on me tuning in for just 20 minutes at the 57-minute mark, that I can be 100% confident that it's Christmas and that Christmas matters to the movie?
By that extension, how would you know it's not a movie set on a plane if you tune in for the right 1.5 minutes?
I know. I
Like,
said
oh,
you
that
have
whole
to-
movie's
I
on a
said
plane.
minimum of 20 minutes.
So like you're saying
Listen,
like
if
like,
you're
oh,
if you're watching a Christmas movie that is like hitting all these things of Christmas, is like all of
Mm-hmm.
the seasonal, all the holiday stuff. If you can watch it for 20 minutes and not tell that it's Christmas, that it's not.
You would be
Christmas
able
movie,
to tell
because
with,
you
with
would
Die
be
Hard
able
that
to
something
tell
else is more
a
important
true
than Christmas.
movie if it's at Christmas.
okay,
It's not a
all right,
Christmas movie though.
Is it hitting you over the head with the fact that it's Christmas?
Okay,
No, it's hitting you over the head with gunshots
I want to say this. I want
Yeah.
to say this
and blood.
in comparison of what we're talking about here.
Okay.
A couple years ago, Josh and I went to go see White Christmas.
Okay.
That was yes, please, yes.
We did not know that it was a Christmas movie until really up until the end.
Sure.
Yeah, this fills my second criteria for disqualification.
At any point in time, if you jumped into that movie, and it could be at any point in time in that movie, we did not know that was a Christmas film.
Mm-hmm.
We did not know that was a Christmas movie.
Sure.
Yet that is a revered classic of Christmas movies.
I know.
Yeah.
That is another one that would easily go through my filter of whether or not I think it's. I haven't seen the movie, so I
That
don't
one-
know. But like
it-
that, you guys saying that is what made me think about this movie.
The
Which
White
leads me
Christmas.
to the second thing: is
I feel like
Christmas an important part of the story, or is it in the background?
Mhm.
Like, can I take Christmas
so
out
with
of
Die
this
Hard
movie?
wouldn't fill that for your criteria.
I know.
There you go. That's a part of your criteria that Die Hard wouldn't fill.
My only thing is about Die Hard is that every once in a while, okay, you do see filterings of Christmas. It's
Yes,
there.
you do.
There are things that point out that there are things that point out that Christmas is there.
I
It's a
agree.
juxtaposition, though.
I agree, Andrew. And this is where I'm going to get to that. I'm not arguing that because, again, I went through the movie and there are 100% moments that you can definitely tell that it is Christmas.
Yeah.
It is Christmas. There is no mistake that Die Hard takes place at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But is it a Christmas movie?
No.
Does it have the spirit of Christmas?
Here,
That's
you
my
got to answer the question.
The answer is no.
You
My-
keep giving rhetoricals.
Well, that's because I'm running it through each
Well, then
filter.
why are we fighting if we agree?
I don't know. You're trying to be contentious and we're on the same side.
Well, it's supposed to be a debate, and you were just throwing out. You're just throwing out like, oh, well, if you turn it on for 20 minutes, it looks like Christmas,
Right, it
That's
looks
all-
like it's Christmas. It is set
that's all
at
that-
Christmas, but do I get the
Terrible
Christmas
great
spirit
version.
and feeling? No, absolutely not.
So does anybody here believe Die Hard's a Christmas movie?
Andrew does.
That's why we're going through.
Andrew, you're an idiot. 2 minutes rebuttal.
Okay, so again, rule number 3: does the central figure have some kind of change? John McClane does. He absolutely does. He does have a change. He realizes that he wants to save his marriage and all that stuff, and so he goes through that and realizes what's important. So he does have the
Mhm.
change. Okay, so John McClane, he's got to change. That's great. Then you got to look at the release date. It was released in July. It was not intended to be a Christmas movie. It was intended to be an action movie set at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
There was no marketing for it to be a Christmas movie. None whatsoever. The intent was not for it to be a Christmas movie. That's a big hit.
Now, having barely seen Die Hard, I don't remember when I actually saw it. Who knows how old I was. But I feel like, honestly, the idea of it being a Christmas movie is silly, because I feel like the idea is that Christmas is supposed to just be a humorous, in ways, juxtaposition to the violent nature of the film. Like, if anything, it's not really about Christmas. It's not because of Christmas. It's just at Christmas, where you have people being, brutally shot or stepping through panes of glass or falling out of buildings or what have you.
Right.
Like, it's just a juxtaposition that everybody else is going to for the rest of the movie.
The next thing, going through, continuing Die Hard, is Christmas in the title? If Christmas is in the title, it is intended to be a Christmas movie, which is where you and I will disagree, David, in that Black Christmas, that was a movie that was released at Christmas time with Christmas in the title, with intent of being marketed as a Christmas movie. So thus that falls into my category of it is intended to be a Christmas movie. If Die Hard were called Die Hard, Christmas, 100% a Christmas movie.
No.
It's intended to be a Christmas movie.
No, but the thing is, people get murdered in it, so it moves out of the Christmas subgenre into a horror movie. It's just a horror movie.
This is also a rule or thing that helps White Christmas, because even though it may not be the plot of a Christmas movie, it was intended to be a Christmas movie. And so that is a point for its favor. Whoever has the most points, in my opinion, wins. But it is a thing that it was intended to be a Christmas movie.
We'll have to apply this point system. We'll have to come up with like a good list of Christmas movies, and then we'll just check off. We'll have you check off how many points it gets.
Yeah. And
might
then
have to be the
again,
same for
if
Josh.
Tim Allen is in it, that's probably another good point.
That's a bad one. That's a bad rule.
I don't know. It's mostly Christmas.
Like Tim Allen's.
No.
Tim Allen's
his filmography is mostly Toy Story at this point.
Wow. No, if you add up all the Christmas movies,
he's been in a lot of them.
He's been in like 4.
No,
He's been.
That's
in at
not a
least
lot.
4.
that's more than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's as many as he's been in Toy Stories.
fair.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been 3 Santa Clauses. He's been in Christmas with the Cranks. He's
Right.
been in El Camino Christmas. There's
No one knows what that is.
Yeah.
You might find out.
Oh
Did
no.
I change my Christmas pick?
Oh no.
I'm not watching it again.
Anyway, that's how I think that you can answer the question on those controversial ones, is by using those things. It's like, does it meet these things or does it not?
I have a simpler philosophy.
Is it
So
that
that's what it
actually,
comes
if it
down
makes
to.
you and your family feel happy and fuzzy, then you can watch it at the holidays and it be your personal Christmas movie?
Well, that was your subjective. That was your subjective
That's my rule
category.
7. Yeah.
That was your own rule.
Yeah.
No, mine is hard and fast rules. You kill somebody, you're out. All right. Somebody gets murdered, even in self-defense, because it's not just death. Because somebody can die in a Christmas movie, and that's perfectly fine as long as that death is somehow connected to the story, right? Like Santa Claus. Spoiler alert: he dies in the beginning of the movie, The Santa Claus. But it's not about being murdered. It's not about being killed, as much as that's a joke throughout the movie. He dies as a natural progression of the story. It makes sense. But nobody in Gremlins dies as a progression of the story for Christmas. They die because the Gremlins are crazy. Nobody dies in Lethal
Yeah.
Weapon to forward the
I don't
Christmas
know.
story.
I think that your rules more apply for if the whole audience is 12.
So
You leave no room for adult
big-
Christmas films. None.
Oh,
That's
there's a
true.
room. There's room.
There's no
can be-
room.
There can be cursing. I have that in my borderlines. You can have cursing if it's a adult-oriented Christmas film. So, like movies like Bad Santa might fall into this. Although I
Bad
think
Santa's 100% a Christmas movie.
that might have nudity. I don't know.
Bad Santa's
would-
100% a Christmas
I
movie.
would bet it does.
I think
I-
Four Christmases has cursing. You can have cursing. You can have other things. But like the thing is, if murder's involved, if somebody being killed is involved in such a way, then it's not really an adult-oriented.
But
Christmas
that's
movie.
also not fair, because, like, I don't know, you think of movies as like relatable. Maybe somebody looks at Bad Santa and Billy Bob Thornton and goes, that's what I want to see. I don't know. I'm trying to defend Bad Santa because I think that's 100% a Christmas movie.
Well, the thing is, I don't know. That one sits me in an interesting border area because it is like it does meet a lot of the criteria that you listed, but it is obviously for adults. It's not about really the spirit of Christmas as you would know it. The thing is,
Not
yes, Josh, you're
necessarily.
right. Christmas, I think, a Christmas movie has a lot of family elements and childhood elements. Most movies are going to fit that category.
Billy Bob Thornton becomes the father figure to this kid and finds meaning. He's still a dick, but like he goes through that sentimental change. He was a bad person and he ended a bad person, but he was a little bit better because he
full frontal
helped
nudity
that kid. I don't know if there's full frontal.
Okay, I'll allow.
You probably see a little bit of Billy Bob's backside.
Yeah. I think that I'm more forgiving of something like Bad Santa. It might fall more into the anti-Christmas category than something like Die Hard or some of these other. What are you getting into? My dog's getting into stuff down there. Than some of these other movies. You call them controversial. I call them downright no. That's not very good ending. I think there's bad. They're not Christmas movies.
There was one thing I wanted to say just to clear up a little bit because it's been on my mind about what I said at the very beginning. And it's about the Christmas movie doesn't exist.
Right.
I want to make it real clear that when it comes to Christmas movies not existing, I do think Christmas movies, to somewhat extent, there are movies specifically around Christmas that do exist. Yes. What I wanted to say was that like Christmas theme movies exist. Does that make sense? Like more Christmas is a theme.
Okay.
Does that make more sense?
Christmas is a theme.
I think you're getting super technical
sense.
when you don't necessarily need to, but I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's that's all I wanted to say.
See,
gotcha.
So are you trying to draw a delineation between Christmas themed movies and movies that happen to either come out or take place at Christmas? Is that what you're trying to draw a difference between?
Sort of, yes.
Okay. I think that's what we've generally been talking about, is that a movie can be about Christmas or at Christmas, but not about Christmas.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, I was thinking about what I said earlier, and I'm like, I want to retract that a little bit and go back over that. Because
we got you, boo-boo.
I figured that, I figured that what you meant something, but it was just really funny how you articulated it.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
But anyway, that's all I needed to say.
Got you.
All right. Are there any other movies we want to look at in terms of? So we talked Die Hard to death. Are there any other ones that's on this weird border?
Well, so yeah, I do want to talk about White Christmas because I haven't seen it. David, have you seen it?
I have seen it too many times.
Okay,
every year,
so the three of you
put out. They add another 4 minutes to the movie every year. It gets longer and longer. Go ahead.
The three of you have seen it, and I think that most people would fall into the camp of 100%, that's a Christmas movie, no questions asked. But definitely after hearing the conversation with you two, you were like, this is not a Christmas movie. So let's take this one and run it through my little filter thing and see if it kicks this Christmas movie out.
Okay.
So is it, at any point in time, can I jump in and tell it is Christmas?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Done.
Not until the very end.
Okay. So it doesn't have that.
Well, at the beginning and at the end.
Sure. Yeah. At the very beginning. Yeah.
It doesn't need,
by Christmas.
It does not get the point it does not get the easy point. It does not get the easy point.
That's an easy point, but it has to get it. There's various points it can attain.
Is Christmas an important part of the story, or is it in the background?
I'm sorry?
I want to say it's probably in the background. And I say probably because after the beginning, just like what we said, you don't hear about it ever again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what is it? What is this one again? I'm sorry.
This is White Christmas.
No, I know, but what was the point?
Is Christmas an important part of the story, or is it in the background?
I would say not really. I have the White Christmas expert to my right over here, and she says the movie is about the group coming together to give a nice moment, like a gift of sorts, to this old man who is at this sort of like a midlife crisis or an older crisis in his life, right? They're working together to do something altruistic. But do they inherently talk about it being a Christmas gift? No.
And I don't necessarily disagree that it's probably not a Christmas film, but I'm hearing two people talk about it who clearly did not pay attention, and I'm going crazy.
Okay, well, I'm going to get there.
No, but
So
you
we have a
but-
defender of
But
White
you have it
Christmas.
from her. No.
Okay, so here's my subgenre. If a movie focuses on several holidays, does the climax or crux of the story end on Christmas? If so, does it go along with rule number 3, where the central figure goes through some kind of exploratory journey, where it started at a Christmas and then it comes full circle and ends at Christmas?
In sorts. Yeah.
I mean, it starts at Christmas and ends at Christmas, but I don't know what the hell you said just there. That was way too much.
Yeah,
Something
so
about multiple holidays and
Okay, so
If I remember correctly, who is it? Bing Crosby?
Bing Crosby.
Bing Crosby, he starts off as a single, somewhat sad individual. By the end, he has a girlfriend. So he learns. and
did it
grows.
take one full year from like Christmas
Is it a
to
year?
Christmas?
Yeah.
I don't know that it's a full year. I don't know that they ever like set out a time frame, but it's definitely. Well, I mean, yeah, it has to be because it's Christmas to Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's more or less.
But it could be several years. I don't know.
But a lot of movies feature people growing before. But I mean, honestly, if you write a movie, the character should show some level of growth.
I agree, but I think the point would be is, even though it goes from,
But Christmas is not a
To
time tied
Christmas.
to that.
does it ever go back to the fact that it started all at Christmas and like Christmas is like the central figure of it all?
Yes, it
Maybe.
does. It absolutely does because the beginning of the movie is them all at the war
Yeah.
when the general is retiring and being sent away. At the end of it is them all coming back on Christmas to celebrate that same general.
Yeah.
So it absolutely does tie.
But does that
back
tie into his change?
to the well?
His change is more of a personal change with this
Yeah.
woman.
I would argue that the change is kind of a side story anyway.
Mm.
I don't necessarily disagree that it's not necessarily a Christmas movie.
Then why are you arguing over there?
Because there are elements that do apply that, again, people did not pay attention to.
You see what
Very
I put
few.
up with
Listen,
over here?
the fact
What I
that
put
they,
up with over here?
the Christmas to Christmas thing makes no difference in this movie because they're not gathered because of Christmas ever.
No.
They're gathered in the beginning on Christmas because they're at war. It is a war
Yeah.
scene. It has nothing to do with Christmas. And at the end, it happens to be Christmas, but they're gathered for a variety show that they're making like a TV or radio broadcast. Again,
Right,
nothing
but
to do with
someone-
Christmas.
someone
It
made
just
the
happened.
comment-
It could be July 1st to July 1st. It didn't matter.
Okay.
Right. Someone made the comment though that the ending was the only time Christmas came up, and I was like, where were you in the beginning of the movie?
Mhm.
And in a lot
Instantly
of
bored
different-
by this horrible movie. Instantly bored.
Oh.
Immediately
Oh,
no.
boy.
Immediately no. One of the most
Oh,
boring things
no.
I've ever seen.
Oh
Uh-oh.
my God! Do not question why I punch you in the face the next time I see you.
Oh,
Do not question it. You have just been
Help.
given the answer.
Help!
Don't worry,
Uh,
Andrew agrees. He's just
uh,
afraid now. He
uh,
hated it too. You
man,
hated it.
I gotta go. No, I agree with Josh.
I have never seen it. Alas, I do not know.
The fact that it's Christmas has nothing to do with any plot point in the movie. No.
I believe it.
Oh, gee, guys, I got beat up over here. Okay. I agree that it's not a Christmas movie. The subgenre of musical romance, I think, overhauls the movie by the most part. Like anything, like all of the things that Garrett talked about that could be a Christmas movie could also be a romantic comedy or a musical romantic comedy. And those factors in this particular movie, I think, outweigh the Christmas
Mhm.
factor. There's only 2 Christmas songs, right? There's only really 2 Christmas songs in the movie.
I think there's
Everything
only one
else
Christmas
is
song
you have a movie
twice.
about learning choreography with Danny Kaye. It's very entertaining, but it's not a Christmas song. You have the song where they're sisters and they sing that like twice. That's not really a Christmas song. They meet on a train. It's not even a Christmas. It's not even the Polar Express. So I mean, come
No,
on.
and it's summertime.
It's summer when they.
It's not summer when they meet on the train.
Well, it's green.
They're going down there to perform for the whole month of December.
Okay. It,
Or they're going
All right.
up there because
all right.
they're
We've heard
not
enough.
where it's
We've
summer.
heard enough from the White Christmas expert. Like I said, every year they add 4 minutes to that movie because it's so long. My wife, everybody. For those who don't listen to the show, she's off in the background just shaking her head.
Are there any
Um,
other controversial ones that you want to talk about, or that like people talk about that you hear that are maybe these
Um,
aren't that we haven't talked about? I mean, Die Hard's obviously the biggest one, but What
I mean, the
else?
one that I could easily shoot back at is Black Christmas is not a Christmas movie. It's a horror movie set at Christmas time.
Yeah.
It being in the
I agree.
title has nothing to do with anything. And its
People-
release date really has nothing to do with anything. I don't
Not
even
really,
think
'cause
it should
most
be
Christmas movies are
considered.
released around Thanksgiving weekend anyway.
Yeah. And Miracle on
why are those
34th
not
Street, like
Thanksgiving?
Andrew said, came out in the summertime.
And that
Right,
one
but I
fits
think
a lot
It's
of
really
the-
an irrelevant rule.
No, and I think there are a lot of like whenever I look up like doing in the effort to make this list, I came across so many freaking online lists that had Batman Returns and Iron Man 3 in their Christmas movies. And I'm like, no, these are not Christmas movies. These are superhero movies that take place during Christmas.
And
They're not
that's the
about
way.
Christmas.
Yeah, that's the way that I feel about a lot of things.
Look
That if
who's
you're
talking
just kind of,
now.
if you're
Look
piggybacking
Who's
off the
Talking.
fact that it's Christmas time, then it's not really a Christmas movie.
One list I found had Rent as a Christmas movie.
No.
It's not a Christmas movie. That's a musical about people with AIDS or whatever. I mean, nobody wants to see that. While You Were Sleeping is listed as a Christmas movie on some list. That's a romantic comedy. Straightforward. That's a romantic comedy. That's not a Christmas movie. Do you guys remember this Why Him movie with James Franco?
Yes.
That's a slapstick comedy. That's not a Christmas movie. Edward Scissorhands. Where you guys stand on this one?
Not
You
a
know, I
Christmas
don't know.
movie.
Yeah,
That's a tricky one.
it's been too long since I've seen it. I don't have a memory of it well
Andrew,
enough.
why would it be tricky? What things does it fit of Garrett and Josh's and my criteria or your criteria that would make it a Christmas movie?
There's one thing I will say that will disqualify it. I don't think it has a happy ending. I don't remember Edward Scissorhands having a happy ending.
Does it not? I don't know.
It had a powerful ending, but it didn't have a happy one.
No, and Edward Scissorhands kills people. So
Yeah,
Does
he
he?
does. He can't.
Oh, there you go.
Killed that one dude.
Yeah, out. I never saw Edward Scissorhands.
Okay, so
it's
that
not like
gets-
gruesome or anything, but he like kills people. He has scissor hands. I mean, it
and
happens.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he died in a very bad way.
Right.
With the Caesars, he making me cry.
But no, when it comes to Edward Scissorhands, it's been a long time since I've seen Edward Scissorhands, but I don't remember that being, I don't know, any at all sentimental, like what we've been talking about. I would probably say, I'd probably say no on the Christmas factor.
It's a no.
Okay, so that's a no for Edward Scissorhands, a controversial one. We didn't talk about the other controversial ones. We talked about Die Hard. Is that a no from all four of us? No?
It's a no for me, dog. Like, it is an action movie set at Christmas time, 100%.
Mm-hmm. And people get murdered in it, so I'm going to say no.
I'm gonna say no as well.
Mm.
Although I will say I came into this thinking I might be persuaded, and I was not.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, no. Andrew?
He's gonna say yes. Although it shocks me simply because there's no way, Andrew, that you watch Die Hard and feel the spirit of Christmas. There's just no way. There's no way that you come out of that feeling all like full of joy and mirth.
I'm coming out going,
Whatever.
jingle bells, jingle bells.
I'm thinking about my answer. My answer is this.
Yes.
I'm gonna say, is it
A long way
Christmas
to say
themed?
yes.
Is it Christmas themed?
Is it this?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it a
Is it-
Christmas movie? No.
No.
There you go.
Okay, interesting. So there you go. A definitive
What?
no on
now-
Christmas.
Now, would I say this? Would I say this?
I already
Is
said the
there any
definitive
other-
no.
Is there any other time to watch Die Hard?
Yes.
For
Yes.
me personally, no.
And that's what
Every-
makes the Christmas movie for you. That's fine, Andrew. It's beautiful.
No, it's not, Garrett.
But it's
stop.
not a real. It's not a
It's
real
not. It's a
Christmas movie.
dumb rule.
It's a
Don't
sentimental
encourage him.
Christmas movie.
No.
It's a sentimental Christmas
all I have
movie.
to say,
You could apparently watch it in July when it was released or whatever.
but
True.
but here's what I have to
True.
say. All I have to say is that I have the Die Hard Christmas book right here.
Oh,
And-
for goodness
and
sake.
this
He's
is-
got a gun in the cover.
Yes, he's got a gun on the cover. It says Christmas right there. It's everything just comes together.
Holy
Now-
jolly, shut your mouth.
I'm sorry. It can be a Christmas themed movie, but it is not a Christmas
It's
movie.
already a no. We already definitively said no. So I'm going to go through the other controversials. Batman Returns. No.
No.
Again, only watch it at Christmas time.
What one was it? I'm sorry.
Batman Returns.
Look,
it does not spark Christmas to me. No.
There are movies that are Christmas movies, and there are movies that you can watch at Christmas time. Batman Returns fits that criteria. Harry Potter's, Lord of the Rings, people like to watch those.
Die Hard fits that criteria.
The reason why Lord of the Rings kind of gets I don't know, not a pass at that, but the reason why it makes sense to watch it at Christmas time is because they were released at Christmas. They were all released.
Release day doesn't
Right.
matter. Remember?
Doesn't matter to me. Those are no. Okay, so Gremlins.
A lot of people get murdered in Lord of the Rings too.
Yeah,
That's true. Oh yeah.
Gremlins is a no for me. I know that it's a lot of it's at Christmas a lot, but
I
no
don't know.
for me.
I
That's
have not seen it enough to ever consider it a Christmas movie, so it's no. I mean, no from me.
that's a Muppet horror movie for me. Entertaining, very good. Love Gremlins, but no, it's a no for me in terms of a Christmas movie. I can't tell sometimes when Andrew's thinking and when his screen's frozen.
Well, no. Gremlins.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna pass.
Okay, and then the final
I
one that
don't
we
feel
haven't talked
educated
about,
enough.
I don't know how we didn't come up to this one before, is Nightmare Before Christmas.
No.
I'm
It's a
going to say it's a
Halloween
no.
Halloween movie.
That is a Halloween movie, but again, it meets my criteria of if you feel like it's a Christmas movie and you love it, then you can watch it. But no, it's not a Christmas movie. It's not a
No.
Christmas movie.
You can't keep citing that rule. It makes everything okay.
That movie
does
undoes all of
make
your
okay.
points.
Doesn't
I
make
think
anything okay.
I think Big Mama's House is a Christmas movie because it makes me feel
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I think Jurassic
Should.
Park's a Christmas movie because I choose to.
It's actually a
choose
thing.
to watch it on December 25th.
That is actually a thing. Do you know about this, David?
No, Jurassic
my
World
God.
might be. Jurassic
You-
Park, no.
No. Jurassic Park has been considered some Christmas movie for like. Hold on, let me find it. You guys talk. I'll find it. I have an article.
Well, I have no problem doing that.
Discuss.
Now I've never seen A Nightmare Before Christmas, so I can't make a full recommendation on it. I have heard from my personal my personal co-host over here that it is not a Christmas movie. It is a Halloween movie. I'm going to go on a guess and say that it fits my other disqualifier of the other genre components overweigh the Christmas themes. What are some other ones here? Rocky IV we talked about. That's about it. I think so. I mean, well, we're resting on what was Garrett looking up again?
So I found this thing.
Jurassic Park.
Sometimes people consider Jurassic Park and like Harry Potter, like they would fit that category. And a lot of it, Jurassic Park's status as a Christmas movie came into consideration because for some reason networks just started playing it at Christmas time. And so a lot of people have like associated it with a Christmas movie because they seem to see it on TV at the time. Again, that does not make it a Christmas movie, but it just adds to the argument of some people see this as a Christmas movie, and here's why.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean it's one, but some people have that feeling of like, this makes me feel like Christmas. And so that's why I say it's okay for you to watch it at Christmas time. If it makes you feel like Christmas, it does not mean it's a Christmas movie.
It's okay to watch anything at Christmas time. That's not the question. The question is it okay to watch at Christmas time? It's okay. You can watch whatever you want at Christmas time. You want to watch The Big Lebowski for Christmas? Go ahead.
Exactly.
But that doesn't
not
make
a
it a
Christmas
Christmas
movie.
movie. Jurassic
Not a
Park
real
is not a
Christmas
Christmas movie.
It can be a Christmas movie to you,
Just
but it's not
because-
a real Christmas movie.
Just because NBC doesn't have enough airtime to fill, and they say, hey, put Jurassic Park on, that's 2.5 hours of movies we have the license to run, doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
Well, and Star Wars is the same thing. A lot of people associate Star Wars with Christmas.
and those
it's not
people
Christmas
are
movie.
fools.
But I get it if it makes you like get hyped for Christmas because you're used to seeing a Star Wars, then get hyped for Christmas, baby.
Yeah.
Watch those Star Wars.
Yeah, I just we're looking for a definitive, like what makes a Christmas movie, and the idea of throwing in this, if it makes you feel like Christmas, then it's a Christmas movie. It just throws into
Right.
whack any sort of rule you
Yeah.
could come up with.
It gets
If
complex
if it makes
because
you feel like
Nah,
Valentine's
you gotta let
Day,
people
maybe
have
it's a
fun.
Valentine's Day
What's the
movie.
point of taking people's fun away? You want to take away their fun?
Yes.
Oh, look at me.
you
No,
are
forget their
ruining
fun.
the fun.
It's all
We're
about
not
fun,
here for
spreading
fun.
the joy.
I am here to make rules. All right.
Santa don't like rules. You're getting a lump of coal in your stocking.
Good. I love coal.
Well,
You know what you can get with coal? Diamonds.
You ain't got enough pressure.
You just got to process them or something. I don't know exactly how you do it, but I heard coal comes from diamond made coal. So you know what? Give me all the coal you need. I like my rules. I like my regulations. All right. I ain't in here for no fun or for your
Y'all the
happy
Grinches.
holly jolly time.
Y'all the
I
Grinches.
want to watch real Christmas movies.
Y'all are the Grinch. Taking people's spirit of Christmas away.
I'm all about spirit of Christmas in real movies, in real Christmas movies.
I'm about the spirit of Christmas in your heart, David.
Talking about my heart.
Anything else, anybody? Anything
No.
else that we haven't discussed? Any other rules we want to harp on?
I'm not going to go long on this, but I do really think that there is something that needs to be further explored in the anti-Christmas movie. The movie that is about like commercialism, that is like kind of decrying it, or consumerism. We watched Jingle All the Way last year. Garrett, you brought this up earlier. Great example of a movie that's set during Christmas, that's kind of about Christmas, but also is kind of a negative look at what Christmas is about. I feel like Christmas with the Cranks is that same thing. It's not really about Christmas at first. It's about these people being kind of like overly competitive about Christmas. I think that is an element that really could be explored more, is the negative aspect of Christmas. Yeah, you know, I think Charlie Brown Christmas is probably the most wholesome version of that, where Charlie Brown, he's looking around, he's trying to find the true meaning of Christmas,
Sure.
but his
Well,
friends are
and-
like, hey, you know, we're going to modernize the Christmas story, you know, big houses, all these fake trees.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
It's-
I found an article talking about, so you've got like Christmas movies, and this kind of goes into what Andrew was talking about, like Christmas movies, and then within that there are some subgenres. So let's see how many you guys feel like we can get like subgenres, if you think of anything more. I don't think this will take too long. There's the first subgenre is movies about Christmas. They say that by far the most popular sort of Christmas movie is this classification suggests it's not enough for a story to be set during the December holidays. It also needs to be specifically concerned with Christmas as a religious or commercial holiday with significant practical implications to the characters and plot.
Mhm.
Say things like It's a Wonderful Life. They put Die Hard in here and Home Alone.
No,
Hmm.
what are they thinking? What are they thinking?
No.
Even Home Alone is borderline.
No.
That
It's
movie's
not.
about people stepping on nails and kids having a wish fulfillment daydream.
That movie's about a kid realizing how much he loves his family.
Yeah, but it's not really about that.
Isn't it, though?
No,
I
it's
don't
about people
necessarily-
stepping on nails. It's about hot iron being burnt on your hand.
So I don't necessarily
Stop dropping
agree
buckets on
with the
people.
movies that they put as the examples. I think those are poor examples. But the category itself, movies about
Yeah.
Christmas, do we like that as an overall category for movie? Or for
Yeah, I think that
Christmas?
falls in line with my categories I had, where or my criteria of like the movies. The primary focus of the movie is Christmas, or Santa's a main character. Those would all fit into those type of things.
Yeah, and then even your like anti-Christmas movie because it looks at it from a commercial standpoint.
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. Movies set during Christmas time, though not necessarily concerned with the holiday as a matter of importance.
These are all on my borderlines, probably.
This relatively secular classification suggests that a movie set during Christmas, regardless of whether the holiday is a key point of the story or merely a contextual backdrop, should be considered a Christmas movie. Batman Returns, Trading Places, and Carol.
See, I think that just like, and like we've talked about, the context can be good, can be used. Like in Batman Returns, it's set during Christmas. That's contextual, but it's not necessarily inherent to the story. I feel like romantic comedies set at Christmas fall into that type of category that they described there.
And then finally, the last one they say is movies especially popular with viewers during Christmas time.
No, that's not one.
They say this is the most liberal classification, which includes categories A and B, holds that any movie that experiences a popular surge in private viewing during the holiday season, regardless of story or setting, counts as a Christmas movie. This includes holiday box office releases like Django Unchained, which debuted during Christmas. They
Mm-mm.
say things like The Sound of Music, The Hunt for Red October, the Harry Potter movies.
No. As the
No.
kids say, you can miss me with that.
The
Miss
only
me with
the only
that.
thing that would probably count.
No cap.
the only
That's
thing-
not good.
The only thing that would probably count would be the Harry Potter movies.
Why?
No.
Because you
Here's
wanted
why.
Because
Because you wanted to?
because in the Harry Potter movies, Christmas does have a little bit of a say in that.
Just
It
because
happens,
Dumbledore looks like
yes.
Santa doesn't make it Christmas.
But as the one who loves the Harry Potter movies the most in this show, it's only one part of it. The movies take place typically throughout an entire school year, so you're just getting hit with Christmas during part of it. You also get hit with Halloween, but it's not a Halloween movie, at least in the first movie.
Yeah, you get it with
Yeah.
New
It's
Year's
Hal-
Eve.
it's
not a New Year's Eve
Halloween.
movie.
It's Halloween night when the troll comes in the dungeon. Like, it just doesn't. It needs. Yes, there's a scene of Christmas in there, and if the movie were just that scene, sure. But
You know, why? You know,
and not
like,
all the Harry Potter movies have the focus on Christmas that the first few do.
Okay.
Roasted.
All right.
So there you go. Whose list was that we were talking about
That
there?
was from the Ringer. I'll put it out and we'll put some of the articles that I talked about in the notes.
Well, I'll tell you what. Their criteria was very similar to the criteria we laid out here. So I think there's something to what we've put down. Nobody has quite as harsh a rule as I do with the murder.
You're very
Um,
specific with what is a Christmas movie. I
I'll
give
tell
it
you
a
what,
chance.
nobody.
I
I
give
get
it
to
a
hear
real
my Hulk
chance.
Hogan point echoed. But
I don't even know what movie you're referencing.
Listen, a movie
I
with
don't
Hulk
know.
Hogan is not even a movie. It is a mistake.
That's fair.
Yeah, I know.
Good nanny's famous.
Garrett, I'm just gonna tell you right now. Just Google it right now. Surely Hulk Hogan has been in a movie about Christmas.
I think you're right.
I'm sure there's a movie where he plays Santa Claus.
I think you're right.
So just throwing that out there.
I think there's a
Santa with
movie where-
muscles.
Santa whistles. Yep.
Yeah.
It's
That's a
what
Hulk
you
Hogan
imagine.
movie.
That's upsetting.
So anyway, I think that we have come up with. Have we come up with a definitive? I think we have.
No.
in a way.
I don't.
I don't think so. I think we've
I
just
think I-
muddied the waters even more.
Yeah, I think
No,
I'm
the
more
what-
confused than when we started. but
It's
that's
just because
okay.
you guys won't agree with me.
I
of
think
your
it's
rules,
important to
some of
know
your
that
rules.
everybody has their own
I have
criteria.
hard
and it's
rules.
okay.
It's not my fault that I'm the only one that came with hard rules. You guys came with a bunch of flouncy rules.
Mine aren't flouncy until the last one.
Exactly. Your whole rule flounces your entire rest of your rules.
I want people to feel the spirit of Christmas however they feel.
Big
That's
on the
what
word
it is.
flounces right now.
I will still answer if the movie is a Christmas movie. That is not a Christmas movie. But you can watch it at Christmas. But it's not a Christmas movie.
Yeah. I'll agree that there's a lot of movies you can watch at Christmas. But
White Christmas. Yeah, you can watch it at Christmas. It's not a
White
Christmas
Christmas
movie.
has
You
a,
can
has a
100%
foot
watch it at Christmas.
closer in the door than a lot of other movies, okay? But it's not a Christmas movie. Oh, hang on. My battery's running low.
Yeah. All
Um,
right.
so, yeah, okay. We don't have okay, we might have to revisit this next year.
Fair enough.
Or perhaps in every subsequent episode of this December.
Right.
We
Yeah.
work together next time as a group, not our own stuff.
Well,
Let's
that's
come
what
up with the so many sequels definitive ruling is
Well, that's what
together.
this was. This was the first official meeting of the rulemaking committee
Of the Christmas
or
Council.
the Christmas Council. I like that.
Yeah.
I like
so many
that.
sequels, Christmas Council. All right. Well, I think we've hit our end point for
Yep.
today. Let us know what your criteria for a Christmas movie might be, or if you disagreed or really agreed with anything we said, or if you think David's rules are too harsh. Make sure you let us know on Instagram, Facebook, really just one of those two. You could tweet us too, but why would you do that? It's 2020. So find us online on all those things. Just search for So Many Sequels. We're also on Letterboxd, where we try to keep track of movies we're reviewing. We are all individually on Letterboxd, and we keep up with that better. So you can find us there. What else? Subscribe to the show on YouTube. If you're listening to the audio version, we do have a video version. And if you're watching the video version, we have an audio version that you can listen to in the car or wherever, in your house, where you should probably be. But we're going to start off. This is the start of our Christmas, our like run toward the end of the season with our Christmas movies. So We're going to be doing a handful of Christmas movies throughout December, and then, of course, a couple other fun things. You can still look forward to our end of the year wrap-up show. We're going to revisit our most anticipated movies of 2020, which, spoiler alert, we covered 18 movies, and 4 of them came out. So there's a lot to talk about there. And one of them had already come out when we recorded it. So, like, really only 3 came out.
That's true.
Wow.
So there's still a lot to look forward to. We're excited to get into the Christmas spirit. We're not going to do a series. We're going to each, just like if you were here for our Halloween shows, we're going to each pick a Christmas movie, and it'll just be a surprise each week. So
Yep.
Maybe we'll do a video for our social media pages where we pick those movies.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, we can do an unboxing.
We can do an unboxing video. Those are popular in 2011.
Yeah. Bring them back, baby. Bring them back.
Bringing them back.
Unboxings are still pretty popular.
Are they? I don't know. I don't do YouTube. I'm not a YouTube person.
Depends on what it is.
I guess so. Well, we'll unbox our selections for Christmas movies. So keep an eye out for that. Like I said, follow us on all the things. Subscribe, leave reviews, all that good stuff. Share with your friends and share on your Instagram stories or whatever. Okay. All right. We'll be back next time with a big Christmas. I was going to say classic, but I honestly can't guarantee that. But it'll be something Christmas related.
A big Christmas surprise.
It's the season of so many Santas.
Yeah, So Many Santas is here to say we're going to watch Christmas movies every day.